see as dopamine.
Okay, but anyway, they're not being paid to wrangle everybody like
individual rights, expanding as in reference to 1776. That the Constitution provided and the court supported it. I believe that's a progress in the history of this country. Do we want to take that away? Do we want to dial back because of some of the measures to right past wrong are not considered fair or right? Should we go back to position zero? Again, most people say that's not going to happen. Well, I think the trend, the spiral that you're discussing, it makes me, at least, if I were to bet something, I would not refuse that possibility that things like that might happen. May not be exactly like taking away women's right to vote or taking away, reinstalling slavery, maybe. But remember, we're looking at citizenship. Birthright citizenship is not there anymore because of the perception of these sort of foreign invaders that are giving birth on this land to become citizens. And there's a good chance that that part of the Constitution might be read as not there. The court will make the decision later this year. Now, if you extrapolate that, the trend is very, very concerning indeed.
So a prime example, since you mentioned the Voting Rights Act, and I'm old enough to remember Jim Crow. I'm old enough to remember in the Deep South when you walked into an establishment of public accommodation, there were signs that said, "We exercise the right to refuse service to anyone." And that was code for anyone who was not white. And that's no longer allowed because of the Civil Rights Act. I guess we were talking about the Voting Rights Act, not the Civil Rights Act, but the point still stands. Today, we would say, well, that's a good law, that you can't discriminate against black people. But there's another side to it, and it could be packaged not as an erosion of rights to any one group, but to a restoration of rights to the landowner, to the proprietor. If I own a restaurant, it's my property. It's private property. Shouldn't I have the right to determine who I allow to walk through the door? Shouldn't I have that right? It's my property. So I'm not arguing that, folks. I'm just saying that could be an argument used. We're not trying to discriminate against anybody and prevent them as a group from going into Gary's establishment. We're just wanting to restore Gary's rights. I mean, this is exactly what we're seeing in DEI prohibitions. DEI was considered, or affirmative action as it used to be called, basically by society, at least by liberal society, I don't know about all society, but probably a majority of society, as moving forward, a movement of enlightenment to ensure that everybody has an equal opportunity. Now it's considered as prohibiting opportunities from a different class of people, right? So while I can't envision taking away the right for women to vote, I could certainly see that provision of the Civil Rights Act being struck down as being discriminatory against not a group of people based on race, but a group of people based on ownership, i.e. the owners of the establishment.
Another example, Gary, relating to what we talked about yesterday is freedom of speech, is that, for example, nowadays, if you happen to be a foreigner, for example, having a visa, trying to enter into the United States, then you really don't have a lot of freedom of speech, because if you say something bad or negative, or even ridiculing the president or vice president of the U.S., that's not allowed. Meaning you will.
If it's on your social media, you won't be allowed into the country.
Right. Now, this is more importantly what I'm about to say. The people may say, "Oh, those are foreigners," right?